Hello everybody, my name is Michael, you know me as Coding Jungle, and today I want to talk about the right answers section in the ACP for Formularize. What this this is for the quiz types on the form. So you got two types, you got the quiz and the quiz wizard. And part of the quiz feature set in Formularize is the ability to mark a answer as correct or not. And then assign it a points. Now, there are going to be times like say you come here, like this question is subjective. It doesn't necessarily have a right answer. And you got several field options. And you come over to the quiz, well, you wanted to give it, a score, and you wanted to have technically a right answer, but you can only choose one right answer. Well, what the right answer section allows you to do is to expand on that. So let's say you've got a question that has maybe not necessarily a right answer, but multiple right answers or answers that are more right than others. That makes sense. So what we're going to do, we're going to come here, we're going to find the form by typing in the form name. And since the form it's a part of is called Quiz 1, we're going to click on it. And then the field is who is the best Captain Kirk, and that's coming from that form. Now I'm not going to go over the use class section here. I do plan on doing a video later to explain what that does and how that works, but for right now we're just going to ignore it. And we're going to come down here to the validation code, and I've already got some code set out. Oh. All right, basically, I'm going to give a quick rundown on this. This value is the value that is passed to the right answers from the field data. So that field, once they select an answer and they hit submit, it will check to see if it's got a right answer or not when it's looking up the when it's building the submission for it. And it goes, oh yeah, it does. So it sees it and it says, okay, this is the value that is given. The score is the total score of the question. Now you can leave this just at 20 and then tell that, each option is valid or however you want to do it. And, but if you want to give different weights to each question, you can actually tell it how many points each answer is worth in comparison to the other answers. All right, so we have our values here, and our value 1 is Kirk. So if they choose Kirk, we're going to say, yes, this is a valid answer. And we're going to say, yes, the points is worth 10 out of 20. Okay, then we move on. We've got option 2, which is Picard. We're going to say the option is valid, but the points, we're only going to give them 1 point. Value 3 is Cisco, and of course, since we like Cisco, we're going to say yes, this is a valid option, and the points are worth 20. That they get 20 out of 20 points for that question. All right, so when they get down, and then finally for Archer and Janeway, which no reasonable person on the planet can say that that is their favorite captains, we're going to say no, this answer is not valid, and we're going to say that they get 0 points for their effort. We could even go negative if we wanted to, but we're not going to be that mean. We're just going to say no, they don't get any points for this whatsoever. And when we save it, it saves and it's ready to go. Now, when we come back over here to the front end and we go create submission, it doesn't appear any different. It doesn't say it has a right answer or anything like that. It just says, who is the best captain? Well, let's say we choose Picard and we hit submit. All right, it's got the question marked as the right answer because it's got the green box here, and it's saying we've got 1 point out of 20. Now, if we were to edit that, let's say we choose Kirk this time and we hit submit, it's still going to be a green right answer. It's going to be correct. And it's going to be 10 out of 20 points. But if we come in here and we choose Archer, that pains me to even say that, we're going to hit submit. Well, look, now the answer is marked as incorrect, and they get no points out of 20 points. So that's basically the right answer in a nutshell. And if we were to go and edit this now, we go to quiz options, it's going to say, well, it should say it has a right answer in the ACP. You can't edit this because this is no longer going to be used. All right, so there is that. I got to add a language string apparently, but that's the gist of the right answers. Now, again, like with the form output and the field validate, I'm sorry, the field output and the field validation, these are completely, they imagination is the limit on this. You can do whatever you really want with this. You can get down to, higher level heuristics, that kind of stuff, if you want. That's up to you to determine how to grade a right answer for that field. Again, you'll need to know PHP, and since it's PHP, it can potentially be dangerous code, so be cautious of who you allow to add the PHP code for their right answers, and don't accept unverified right answer code from any of your users if you make them aware of that, or however you do it. Just be cautious of it. It can be dangerous code, so just keep that in mind. And over here you have some options like the value, the field itself. You have the field. You have the field object to play with. The items, the form itself, the form it's coming from, so you can get stuff from there. The math, I'm using the IPS included brick math with their, I think, 4.6 version. And this allows you to program, to add, subtract, divide, do multiple different types of things if you need to on, the math. Like if you want to, because PHP math can be inaccurate, it doesn't do floats very well, that sort of thing. The valid is the answer valid. If we're going to go, if it's a no, it's a false. If it's yes, it's true. Again, the points is the points on this. The correct answer on this is it? If they get the answer wrong, do you want to give the right answer? So since I didn't do that, it doesn't show that. But if we want to, we can say the right answer is 3. And when we save it and it's not, their selections anything but 3, and below it, if you have that option enabled in the form item, it will tell them what the right answer is. And you can go ahead and tell it what the right answer. Now, the process right answer, that I probably should take out, but I'll leave it in there for now. Again, the score is the same thing. It's how many total points the answer's worth. And you can either leave it at 20 and not use the points, but if you want to give different point values based on the answer, you can. And then, of course, you have access to the data that's available to the form itself. So if you want to validate, not validate, but if you want to give the right answer based on, it changes based on choices made in other parts of the form, you can. So you'll have access to the other fields of the field data. So, and these will be listed here. Like, I do plan on expanding this a little bit. It will tell you what field it is, and when you click on it, it will populate the proper thing. So it will say this data. I know that looks funky, but that's the field ID basically for that field, for this field, because we only have the one field. So this is the who is the best captain field, and then of course the value, and that would be a processed value. So it will be, if it's an integer, it will show up as an integer. If it's an array, it will show up an array. That sort of thing. Like I said, if you have any questions or comments, please let me know, and I'll try to help you. And again, like the field validation, this isn't intended for beginners. This is intended for advanced users and people who know PHP. I would be willing to write out right answer code for you, but it won't be a free of charge thing, because again, it could be quite in depth and time consuming. So if you need any help, I will give as much as I can. I won't write the whole thing for you, but I will point you in right directions or answer your questions. Again, be careful with it, because is executing PHP code, and it could be potentially dangerous PHP code. Again, have a nice day, and I hope you guys found this video entertaining and informative, and I'll see you later.